feel bad at all. I mean, I slept for like 14 hours, and I drank a lot of water, and I think I ate in the blackout last night.
What did you eat?
I don't know. I had such vivid dreams that I don't know if I actually ate or if I just dreamed about eating. Because I remember eating a lot of tuna, but we don't have any in the house, and I didn't prepare any, and I definitely didn't buy tuna out. So I think that was just a dream.
Okay.
But there was cheese out when I woke up, so I know I ate cheese and crackers.
Are y'all trying to make it to Carrollton?
We're gonna go. We figured we would leave here around 10, I guess 10:15, since we're gonna be starting at 9:15. Are you gonna go to Carrollton?
No. Although I think I did cancel that canoe trip. So if we want to record this weekend, we can.
Oh, you canceled? How come?
Because I'm burnt out from Mardi
Yeah,
Gras.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, going on a canoe trip seems entirely unappealing to me, but
I fell asleep wearing my little fitness tracker watch, and it tells me that I slept 16 hours last night.
holy shit.
Yeah. So that's probably why I'm not hungover, is because I slept.
Same. I think that's why. We got home at 7 p.m. Or no, we got home at 8 p.m. and I fell asleep immediately. And then we woke up at midnight and immediately went back to sleep because we fell asleep on separate couches.
Yeah. That was by far the most fun I've had at Mardi Gras in my entire life.
Me too. And I was surprised that Jeff had a good time even though he was not on drugs and everyone else was.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Is he over mushrooms?
No, I think he would have maybe. He's just over drugs because he's done them. For Jeff, he's done a lot of drugs.
Right.
Like, he never did them before we started dating, and then he was doing them like a few times a year. So I think he was like, I'm just not going to do drugs this year.
Yeah.
And he's been going pretty hard, like party-wise recently. So I think he was smart to just take it easy.
I sit here?
Yes. You are in the blue chair.
Tippy.
Do we gotta be out by a certain time, or?
We'd like to be out in an hour so we can maybe go up at
10:15-ish.
Carrollton. Because if we get to Carrollton around 10:30, I think it'll definitely still be going on. But if we get there any later, we run the risk of it not. Because sometimes only like 11 people sign up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's like, sometimes there will be 30, but I feel like it used to always be like 30. And now sometimes it'll be like 10 or 11
It used to
people.
be like 36.
Yeah.
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 Ash Wednesday is one of those days where you never know. I feel like people will either be...
If people are gonna come out or not?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just going to stay in, especially audience-wise, because they're hungover and want to punish themselves for what they did and not go to a bar.
I mean, it's a day. It's the guilt day.
The guilt day.
The guilt day, yeah.
Oh my god, my nails match this beer so well.
Holy shit. Wait,
That's
yeah, we're
pretty.
definitely taking a picture of this.
Wow.
That is extremely funny.
It's Paradise Park.
And yeah, this will be in
Does
our
my hair look like a
extremely...
mullet?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, now that you mention it, but I wouldn't have thought it.
It doesn't even now.
Headphones?
What do they do?
It makes it so you can hear what it's gonna sound like.
Oh, okay.
You can regulate your voice and shit a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh. Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Should I say the N-word? Sorry. My bad. Just kidding.
No,
Yeah.
yes, you should. On three.
For sure.
1.
Definitely.
2 noodles.
Nestle Crunch. My family doesn't talk about Nestle Crunch. It's a very sensitive subject. Tippy.
Yeah.
You met the cat?
Not formally. We were not introduced, but she like kind of walked in between my legs.
Yeah.
She is not a fan of the podcast.
No, Tippy hates the pod. She often just comes and lays her whole body on the keyboard, which
love
is
that.
adorable.
She also attacks us a lot.
As she
Well,
should.
we're yeah. No, it's- yeah.
Is it themed? Like, does she come over? You know how like at Mike's, the mic will go out if someone says something about God? Have you
Yeah.
ever noticed? Yeah.
What?
Is it like that?
I've never noticed that.
What?
Wait, you said
I pretended like I had seen that before, but
you think the microphone goes out at shows when someone says
A lot
something
of
about
times.
God?
Yeah. Because
No.
it's really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not insane.
I think you're insane.
Well,
I
that's
don't-
probably also true. But
Once again, just being.
I've
not
seen it happen
believing
more
what people say
about
on
that
this
than
shit.
like other things. Like
Alright.
I've never seen someone be like, I hate my job, and the mic goes out. It's always like, maybe God isn't, and then the mic goes out. And I'm always like, yeah, bitch.
You believe in God, right, Julie?
I do believe in God.
Yeah.
Mary Devin.
Which one?
Yeah.
All of them, every single one.
Yeah.
Which one the most? Who's in charge?
The white man God.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one that looks like Santa but is in a robe.
I mean, I feel like that makes sense as far as like how history is gone. You know.
For me,
No, for like the
For
world.
white people.
Yeah.
Like-
Did you ever own a God as a black woman shirt? That feels like very
Oh yeah,
you
that's
5 years ago.
Yeah.
if I did, it would say, no, I saw one actually here that said, I've met God, she's black. And I like the confrontation aspect of that shirt. I would never wear that.
The confrontation aspect.
Yeah, I like when people are like, challenge me on this belief, bitch. I feel like my thing about God is like, I think it's real for me, but I don't think that means it's objectively real. Like, I think it's just a coping mechanism and a safety thing that I have. Like, I was raised with that belief system, kind of. So it just makes sense to me. And then it's so funny to me when people are like, God isn't real, but also all science is correct. And I'm like, wow.
Right.
Yeah. Benjamin, you seem like you're thinking.
Yeah. No. It's, yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying?
I'm that guy. I think.
I think that science is more faith-based than people would like to imagine. I think people are stepping back thinking like, these are the facts and I only believe what's real. And it's like, what's real is malleable and you have no concept of it really.
Especially considering how most science is funded, which is mega corporations.
Yeah. Also,
like-
did you ever say statistics? It's like very easy to manipulate.
Right. I mean, that's like the entire charter system in New Orleans is badly manipulated stats about
Right.
like
Yeah.
Student success.
student success
And what
they,
helps people.
Yeah,
Right.
and they completely ignore the fact that they're like they lose, like they kick students out or students drop out
I mean,
constantly.
I think the appeal of science to people who have any like sort of like good head on their shoulders is like the malleable nature of it. That like you don't have to have a rigidity to anything you believe because it can change and your understanding of the world can change drastically.
But Julie's more of a romantic agnostic than like a believer in a God that is, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're just romanticizing agnosticism. You're saying you don't know what exists or doesn't exist, and you're just open to it, but a belief in it is a coping mechanism.
I think anyone digging their heels in the ground and being like, this is what it is, and I know for a fact, anyone who feels that way about the universe as a whole is inherently wrong and also like falsely confident in a way that I can't relate to at all.
Yeah, most
Yeah, I
definitely.
agree.
Yeah.
I think like agnosticism towards pretty much everything is the healthiest way to go about anything.
Yeah. I'm agnostic, but I feel like God is real.
yeah, intuitive. I mean, yeah,
But I'm also like
Everyone-
not agnostic to the point where I think like if I jump off a cliff, there's a chance that I might not like I'm gonna die.
Right, right.
no, but there's a chance that you won't.
Yes,
You
but
catch a- if you catch an
if
updraft.
you operate like under those sort of
Yeah.
like principles, then you're a moron, and people do, and then they legislate based on it. It's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wish that more legislators jumped off of a bridge.
Or did acid.
Yeah.
Did acid and jumped off a bridge
Yeah.
like that little kid, or like, oh man, I know. Well, the
What
like
little kid jumped off a ridge?
the like archetype, like the bullshit story they say about acid, where it's like there's one where it's
fly.
like
Yeah.
Oh, God.
someone jumped out of a window.
right. I'm a golden god.
Yeah.
You guys watch Bandersnatch?
We're also totally gonna find this, and then the
No,
other
you
one
can't
is
watch
the,
it on
like,
Apple TV. Tippy.
You can't watch. It's on Netflix.
You can't. No, it's not compatible with Apple TV.
Oh, because you have to choose stuff? Interesting. Did you watch it?
I don't even know what that is.
Wow, you guys, this is fucked up. And I
Wait, I want to
leave.
go into the other one though. 'Cause
What's the other one?
the other one, I feel like this. So the first one is always like several steps away. People tell that story, and then there's people who lie and they're like, my friend,
Oh,
my
yeah.
older friend,
Yeah.
did LSD,
Yeah.
and he turned into a glass of orange juice.
What?
And he was like, don't spill me, bro. Don't spill me. I've heard this from like a couple people. And it was
Damn.
like always some like older, like
There's all
hippie
those
kid.
urban legend stories
Yeah.
that I feel like in high school people got away with by being like my friend's friend, older brother. And now that I've like moved a couple times and you hear the same stories, it's like it
like,
never
bitch, you don't
happened.
have
Never
friends.
happened. Right.
The Starburst one, do you guys know that one?
What's the Starburst
No.
one?
No.
Are there any limitations on what I'm allowed to say?
No.
No.
Okay, amazing. So
Not in life or on this podcast.
okay, thank you. So that one is that on Valentine's Day, this girl, wait, let me remember it correctly. Okay, it's like a girl and a guy, and it's Valentine's Day, and she wants to like surprise him, so she unwraps 2 Starbursts and put them in her pussy for him to like eat out.
And then she had a horrible yeast infection.
I know
That would be the real one.
it would be. It's clearly told by people who don't understand, by like 13-year-olds.
Right.
Right.
They don't understand anything because a woman would never do that.
Right.
But then it's like, a couple days after Valentine's Day, she's like in pain and like doesn't feel right. So she goes to the doctor and he's like examining her and he's like, oh, it's like very clearly this. And he pulls out like a Starburst and he's like, yeah, you had a Starburst in there. That's why it hurt you. And then she explains what happened. And she's like, but he ate 2 of them. I don't understand. And then he's like, oh, what he ate was a herpes sac. It's about the same size and consistency as a melted Starburst. But I don't even think that's real. I think a child made up the term.
A herpes sac?
Sac. Like, what is that? I don't think that's real.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just sucking a sack out of a pussy.
Yeah.
Ew,
But I remember
gross.
being 14 and just like loving to like gross out all my male friends by telling them that story.
Dude, urban legends about STDs fucked with me for so long. And I'm still like paranoid every time I have a problem with my vagina. And then I'm like, I've been fucking the same person for 4 years. There's no way I actually have a problem with my vagina.
Yeah. My GP was like,
What's that?
general practitioner, my doctor was like,
I didn't know what that was.
I don't have that.
yeah, no, it's new.
I have Medicaid.
I go through the New Orleans Musicians Clinic. Highly recommended. Anyone who lives here and is an artist. It doesn't have to just be musicians. But anyway, she was like, I'm going to test you for HIV. And I was like, like, you can. But I've been with the same person for 5 years, and I think it probably would have shown up by now. And she's like, oh, let's just do it anyway. And so until I got the results, I was just like, I have
Freaking
HIV.
out. Yeah,
100%
same.
sure.
It's really scary.
Every time I've been tested, I've been convinced I had HIV.
Me too.
One time, the most fucked up thing that ever happened to me, I think I've already said this on the podcast, when I was at LSU, and the old white male doctor, when I told him I wanted an HIV test because I had unprotected sex with everyone forever, I was like, yeah, you should definitely test me for everything. I have sex all the time
got
with
something.
strangers unprotected.
Yeah.
And he was like, I haven't seen that for your demographic except for this one girl who went to Africa.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ew.
Like,
Damn.
it was extreme. And I was like, just test me. Like, I was just like, are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding me? And also, he was just like, people are so, oh God. People have like I think it's good that person was like, just get tested anyway. Because
Yeah.
the more you just tell people, like, get tested, it reduces the stigma around
Yeah.
it.
No, for sure.
God, that's so annoying.
I used to go to St. Thomas, the community health center.
Yeah.
It's like right over there. And I remember they did these. I had one doctor there who I absolutely hated, and she gave me a pregnancy test without asking me.
Oh my
She
God.
just like did it.
So bad.
Why are you laughing?
It's such a dipshit move.
I know. I hated her so much. I don't remember her name, otherwise I would say it. But I remember one time I took a test and they, I forget what their like thing is to like either send you a letter or call you on the phone, but whatever they did both. And I remember being so scared because they're like, call us back. We have news for you. And I was like, oh,
What the fuck?
I know. And then it was like, you're all good. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck?
That seems
I feel
so
like call us
strange.
back should just be there's
Only
bad
bad.
news.
Only
like
bad.
if there's good news, be like it's fine.
Negative.
Go about your day.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
give me some. If you're going to scare me, then I need to get something out of it. They're like, you're all good. And here's a gift certificate.
The whole, oh my God. When I got misdiagnosed with herpes at the LSU Health Center,
Whoa.
I called, so I am the biggest, I was convinced that, first of all, I deserved herpes. So what had actually happened was.
There's a moralistic thing to all
There
this.
is.
Yeah.
So like I was
Especially-
having, also not just because of the sex I was having, but because I was having unprotected sex. I was like, I'm so stupid. I've never faced any consequences for my actions. I've never been pregnant. And I had sores in the inside of my pussy that were
Yeah.
blisters from just having bad sex.
Yeah.
And like,
I didn't know
whenever-
that could happen.
By the way, I don't know if y'all probably know this, but if a condom breaks, it's like 90% probably because the woman's not wet enough.
Right.
And like when guys are like, yeah, like I was listening.
My dick's too big.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, the condom breaks every time with that brand, and I'm just like, that might be because it's not lubricated enough, but it's not because of the size of the condom.
Right.
Anyway, so I was having bad sex with someone, and I did not advocate for myself and say, stop fucking me, my pussy's dry. And then I thought I had herpes, and so I go to the doctor, and he looks at it, and he says, I think this is herpes. It might not be. I'm going to swab the sores, but it looks like herpes. And then he gave me antivirals or antiretrovirals, whichever one it is. I forgot which one it is, but the thing for herpes that you take. So since I had the medicine, the first
Starbursts.
thing I did, and I've already done a joke about this, so you know, but like I called my mom. And she was actually extremely supportive and like really, really nice. And she was like, "It doesn't mean anything about you. Like, it's really nice. Your aunt has it. All kinds of stuff." And so she like was. I don't think anyone knows who my aunt is, but if they do, she'd only had sex with one person, and he was just a total dipshit. And never got tested for anything because it was the 80s. Anyway, so. Long story short, before I got the test results, which determined I did not have herpes, and also it went away after like 2 days, which is not what herpes does.
At all.
I had already called everyone I'd had sex with and told them that.
It's so
So
funny
you were
because I
on the
feel
phone
like
for two straight
a
days.
million years. But one of the guys knew me well enough to be like, "Mary Devon, I think it's okay." Like he was
Yeah.
like, "I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're just really like a hypochondriac and you're freaking out." Because I was like crying.
Yeah.
Everyone was so nice to me too.
Aw.
It was insane how nice they were to me about it. Because I was like, I don't know. I've had like I've lucked out with men I've slept with.
I feel because one time I got sexually harassed by this guy that I got in a car accident with. I feel like I told you this.
Oh God, that
Wait,
was horrible.
Also,
you were so
you were
trusting
in
of
different
him.
cars. You didn't know this person.
Right.
Yeah, because the way you
Y'all
set it up, it
collided
could
in
be
different
like
cars.
Oh,
that you were in the same car.
No,
Yeah.
no. It was all my fault. I told actually Laura Mar that. Okay, so we were in stop and go traffic, and I was texting and driving, which is who knew bad.
a very convenient way to save time. I feel.
Honestly, it had been fine forever. But it was the day after Trump got elected when I told Laura Mar, I was like, it was totally my fault. Laura just goes, she's like, no woman can be blamed for her actions right now. Which is very true, but also it was my fault. But I rear-ended this man who had a truck that had a boat hitch. Which, do you know what that is? It's like, it means that his car is structurally sound enough to pull a boat. And I was trying like a 94 Toyota Corolla, and my car collapsed like a matchbox, and his car was absolutely fine. And I was trying to be a good person. And so we didn't call the police because he was like, my car is fine. And he was like, but I'm going to go to the doctor just to like get stuff checked out. And I was like, yeah, just let me know. And then I called him a week later because I was trying to be a good person. And then he basically like, throughout the course of a conversation, he asked me how often Isaac and I had sex, and then would like keep talking about his wife that was terminally ill, who I actually now believe isn't real.
Wait, how did he get into that?
So, okay, when we were standing on the side of the road, like waiting for a cop to come or whatever, or just like, I think we did call a cop, but then we didn't file a report or something. He just was like, yeah, and my wife has cancer. And I was like sobbing already. And I was like, ah. And he just kept saying that. And then when we were on the phone,
cancer, you say.
yeah. But then when we were on the phone later, he said she had Hodgkin's disease. And I'm sure there is a woman alive who has both cancer and Hodgkin's disease.
Isn't
It's not that
Hodgkin's
woman.
a lymphoma?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah,
Is it a type of cancer?
it is. Yeah. Don't believe him.
I hope she's
Keep
dead.
going.
No, I wouldn't. Also, it doesn't matter. Like,
It doesn't matter. It was emotionally manipulative. And also,
Yeah.
your wife getting cancer doesn't make
has
you a
nothing
good
to
person.
do.
Yeah, also, it gets worse. So keep going.
How do you know this story?
Because you already told me.
Oh my God. Did I tell you this the other day? Uh-huh. How many times? Whoa, wait.
Just
Okay, so he was talking about his sick wife, and then he would like talk about God. He would like because he opened the car. I was like, "Hey, this is Julie. I got in a car accident. I'm just seeing how you are. Like, are you okay? Like, how are you doing? Did you go to the doctor?" And he was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And I was like, "I'm good. You mean like physically?" I'm like, "Good. I don't have any pain." And he was like, physically, like he just was like really
Wow.
And then he kept like he would like say something so emotionally intrusive, like, "How often do you and your boyfriend have sex?" And then he would not let me. There would be a pause where it was very clearly I was like uncomfortable, and he would immediately switch tracks and start talking about his sick wife and God. So he just like kept doing that.
Whoa.
And then so finally he I was trying to be polite, also shaken. Also, women are socially conditioned to not upset people because
Right.
people kill them sometimes.
And that's a form of abuse to like
Yeah.
act like saying the word physically is bringing up your
Right.
like sex life.
Right.
Like that's
right.
not true.
Context. Hello.
Yeah.
And so basically he like at some point asked me like if I was rich, and I was like, "No, I'm not rich."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Did you see my car?
Yeah. Did you see me? What was I wearing? What did I look like to you? Is it wealthy? I don't think it is. And then he basically like lied and said he went to the doctor and had an $800 medical bill that I could sleep with him to pay instead of
I remember you telling me
paying
this
this money.
Crazy.
And so, and then I immediately hung up. And once he vocalized, I was like so upset. And then I was supposed to do a show at Hi Ho, and I go and I was upset, and I like screamed in my car, like when I was driving there, I just like screamed because I didn't know what to do. And then I got there and it was canceled because they overbooked or something, and I was really relieved. But it was only men. I forget who. John was there and someone else was there. It was like 4 men. And I thought that and I was really upset, and someone could tell.
Wait, this is when John was alive?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is the day after the election, Trump was elected.
Shit. Oh, God.
And I like, someone was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Honestly, no." And I told them what happened, and I thought they would kind of be like, "Oh, why didn't you hang up?" Or like, "Well, how do you know?" Blah, blah, blah. And they were all so nice to me. They were like, "That's really fucked up."
Yeah.
And then hearing men be like, "Oh, that's bad," it allowed me to be like, yes, okay, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not a bad person. Like, because you absorb so much shame, and I just like cried.
I mean, it sucks
For a
that he
while.
took like the validation of men being
Men and my parents. I had to call my parents, and I felt so ashamed and bad.
You need to hear it through someone else's, like, you need to hear other people's reactions to know, because we're, especially as women, conditioned to believe that we're wrong all the time.
And it's insane how like nothing, I didn't even do anything. Like
Right.
nothing even happened. It just made me feel so disgusting and bad. It like took 2 days and the support of so many people I love to like
Right.
shake that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, the person only knew social cues from like bad pornography.
I think he was
Like,
I
how-
think
I
it
think
was
it was
also
manipulative.
deliberate.
Yeah.
I think it was extremely manipulative and deliberate.
Yeah.
I don't think that he thought that what he was doing was okay.
I think he
or not.
saw
no,
he was
I
in a
don't-
position of power
Of
because
course
I
not.
was like kind
But
of indebted
I think
to
he
him.
saw like the world as like, oh yeah, this will happen.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like this person who like definitely doesn't owe me money for medical bills that he's making up will fuck
Mm-hmm. Also,
me
he was a
based
teacher
on-
at a school. He taught gym at a school.
what school?
I wonder if
I
that's
forget
true.
now. Well, I mean, he was wearing.
How old was he?
He was probably like between 45 and like 55, somewhere in that range.
That zone.
I was picturing a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should introduce our guest.
Yeah, it's Julie
Oh,
Mitchell.
right.
You're listening to On Being, and our guest today.
On Being?
No, it's an NPR show about.
Wow.
I
spirituality.
did a very, very brief internship on that show.
No, are you
What?
fucking kidding?
When it was called Speaking of Faith for my like bullshit hippie school.
With Krista Tippett?
With Krista Tippett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny that she rebranded it to be more like broad spectrum spiritual rather than like the sort of Christian language of faith.
I mean, it's actually a pretty good show, and like most of it's not even really about like strictly religious shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
NPR makes me car sick. I can't listen to it.
That makes so much sense.
Well, because one time when I was like 7 or 8, my mom left me in the car to go run some errands, and it was on NPR, and there was some sort of glitch where they just kept playing the intro to something.
Oh my God.
Which is a form of torture.
Oh my God, I would go crazy.
And I
Oh,
was.
especially if it's the democracy. I know that's not NPR, but it's the
It's
same
the chime,
vibe.
the tone.
Wait, do you know the Democracy Now intro?
No, what is it?
The
no, I don't know.
noise you're
Meredith
making
is
makes sense.
hyperventilating.
I
It's like
hate.
it's the shittiest like white guy funk.
Yeah,
like
no, terrible.
terrible guitar stretch.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
hate
go
it.
back to what you were saying.
No, I was just too little. I was in the front, and I was too young to understand how cars work. And I thought I could touch something, and the car would either start rolling and kill me or explode. Like I just didn't think
Oh
I
my
could
God.
touch anything. And I just sat in there for what must have been like 4 minutes. But to have something that's like 6 seconds playing on a loop for 4 minutes, I almost threw up. And now when I hear it, it makes me sick, and I hate it so much.
I
But
understand.
now
that.
it's like even Ira Glass's voice.
I wouldn't know because I've never listened to it.
You're
can't.
not missing out.
Thank you.
I have a vivid memory of being in the back seat of my mom's car and seeing like a little glint of light, like light reflected on the ceiling of the car, and like watching it move around and being like, where is that coming from? I don't know where it's coming from. But I noticed that I could kind of make it go places if I just like willed it there. So I'd be like, oh, go left. And it would like just kind of slowly go left. And
Was it your glasses?
it was my watch.
So you were just moving your hand.
Yeah, but like completely unconsciously. It wasn't like.
That's the capacity in which I believe in God. I'd be like, God is real.
We should fuck with a Ouija board.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
We should do a
But I do think
podcast
that we'll-
entirely about Ouija board.
But well,
it would freak you
last
the fuck
po-
out.
It would freak me the fuck
Yeah.
out. Last podcast on the left already did it.
Oh, boo.
I know, but we would just not make it. that would not be the goal, but just maybe something in the background because it will actually freak me out, and I'll probably end up like going to a priest and asking him to save my life.
Yeah.
I'll probably like hear a creak in
The priest would probably be like, honestly, you should just drink less.
That's what every time I've ever thought I've had a supernatural experience, people were like, but you're an alcoholic, so.
No, there was ghosts in your old apartment.
Thank you,
I know
Julie
that there
Mitchell.
was. You're
Yes.
welcome, Mary Devin.
Jeff Martinez agrees.
Don't shake your head.
There was
I'm
ghosts.
shaking my head.
Did you ever sleep over there?
No.
Nope.
Well, then your opinion is invalid. Ghosts don't come out during the day, and everyone knows that.
They did come out during the day.
I was kidding.
They moved all my stuff. I don't think you ever were in there, were you?
No.
No, yeah, he was never in there.
Do you
at
know
all.
her Twitter background? You know that scary rabbit on the wall?
Yeah.
It's that. Like, that's the little apartment.
Yeah, but that was because Margot put it there.
I know. That's not the... But I'm saying that's
Also,
kind of the vibe.
I let people live in my apartment like for long stretches, and everyone got creepy vibes when I was not in there. People that didn't drink as well.
They were like, this is gross, creepy.
Well, Christina's little brother stayed there, and I let him stay there for $150, and I was still paying the rent because he cleaned the whole thing, and it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
And also, he was like a little baby. He was like 18 years old.
I met him when she was moving, and we
He's
got to
such
take
a
all this
sweetie.
stuff. Yeah.
He cleaned my whole apartment, and it was so nice. Also, it was unlivable, so that's probably why he cleaned it. But still, but he was really, really creeped out by that place.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't drink
Yeah.
or do. I don't think he does any drugs.
There was something there.
Yeah, there was something really creepy there. It was like, even if it was just that the vibe, I know no one else here believes in vibes, but I
No.
do. Yeah.
I do. Like, when I had the moving company, I would go into a lot of places and just immediately, like, feel awful. But I never thought, like, this is supernatural. I was like, oh, I can just tell by the way things are arranged, the weird smells, that, like, these people are fucked up.
Fucked up, yeah.
Like, this space has a bad thing because
Yeah.
people have kind of just put...
Do you believe in ghosts?
Not really.
Do you believe in aliens?
Absolutely.
I used to run away from the toilet
It's-
because the
if
flush
you
was too
don't,
loud.
You're
Me
insane.
too.
Like, there's definitely like
No, I think so, too.
Other life.
My
in the
parents in
universe.
there,
Yeah.
and specifically their bathroom, they had a toilet that had like a softer, like, you know, those ones that have like a less loud flush.
Yeah.
I would only use their toilet for a while because I was so afraid.
Because
of
when
the
it's dead
toilet.
silent and then you flush, it's just like
so loud,
the
yeah.
loudest noise in the world.
Yeah, it's
and then
so-
you run into the hall and there's like the Sacred Heart of Jesus painting looking at you with its eyes that move when you move, and you're just like,
On the
Yeah.
way over here, a dog barked too loudly, and I screamed like a cartoon.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was in the car. It was fun to watch.
You were like, oh my God.
Because that dog has scared the fuck out of me so many
That
times.
dog-
wait,
I
is
was
that the
totally
German
ridiculous.
Shepherd?
No.
It's a
that
pit
one,
bull.
Oh, I love that pit bull.
Was it? Is it a pit
It actually
bull?
seems
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Like,
It looks
once
like a mix.
After it's done barking, like initially,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like gives you the eyes like I want to play.
Also, I've been seeing loose German Shepherds all over the fucking city of New Orleans, and it feels like the apocalypse.
Dude, the Nazis are coming.
Yeah,
They're
man.
here.
They're scouting.
You
Oh
know
yeah,
that
they're, oh
they're
yeah, that's right. They've been here a while.
They've been here.
They're pretty loud about
But
it.
Never
like,
left.
Wait, can I go back to the ghost alien thing for a second? Because I have a very dumb theory that sometimes I'll entertain, like on the like completely.
Is now one of the times.
Yeah, right now.
Okay, yeah.
Like being agnostic about everything when people talk about like ghosts or like seeing things that don't really make sense. I think one of the most logical things to think about that, aside from like it's just bullshit and like that's internal stuff in their head, is that possibly there's extremely advanced beings in the universe that are mostly capable of not being seen because of their future technology that sometimes people see.
Why isn't that just ghosts?
And they just
It's
have
the
Well,
past versus
so-
the present?
Or
Like,
I
you
mean,
think of ghosts as something in the past?
or just other dimensions that we only see like little glimpses of.
Yeah,
Is that
but
what
in
you're
those
Yeah, but maybe when
in
you
those
die, it's
dimensions,
another
they wear
dimension.
like Victorian dresses and stuff.
Yeah.
The are extremely advanced aliens dressed as Civil War.
or maybe
colonels.
that's all like a human mind could process it.
Okay,
as.
so here's my.
I mean, also, it's
I hate
probably
this,
not
like,
true, but, like,
no,
why not?
I'm just fucking
Yeah.
with it. I hate the psychedelic what if stuff,
What is that? What is that?
Terrence cannot.
That's just my personality.
That's Benjamin. I hate Benjamin. No, but Terrence McKenna talks about DMT, like he like loves
The
DMT.
little trolls. and
Who's
shit.
Terrence McKenna?
He's like a psychonaut. He did a lot of drugs and wrote very
Every time you try to
eloquently.
explain one thing, it adds another thing that I don't know.
Psychonaut is like
It's like an astronaut,
explorer
but
of-
for your psyche.
Who made that's a weird.
He's like Joe Rogan for men who have read a book.
I hate it.
Wait, no.
But, like,
Fuck
old-
that.
old-
Terrence McKenna's actually cool, and Joe Rogan sucks. So
Joe Rogan
much.
sucks.
Yeah.
and I
Yes, Joe
hate
Rogan
him.
sucks a lot, but he talks about DMT a lot.
Okay, so Terrence McKenna.
I've never listened
You
to Joe
can't
Rogan's
be
show.
buff and a psychonaut. You can't do both. One or the other. You got to be a dweeby little
No,
weird
let people have
hippie
nuance,
freak.
Benjamin. No. Joe Rogan is terrible for so many other reasons than he is kind of buff.
Well, that's the
Okay,
thing
wait.
that I'm most threatened by.
Are you a
so-
dweeby little hippie freak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Should we all do visible descriptions? No. People know what you guys look like on the podcast. Who listens
we
to this?
know what Mary Devin looks like.
My face is on the podcast. Who listens to this? Oh wait, no one's listening. Perfect.
Great, absolutely.
We get 200
Okay.
downloads a week. Thank you very much.
Psychonaut.
Okay, so Terrence McKenna.
Terrence
Okay,
McKenna.
the first thing you need to know is that DMT, if you like do enough of it, you will encounter what feels like other, like
Trickster beings.
yeah, like other beings who like have personalities completely distinct from yours. It's not like you're like hallucinating like a dragon. It's like you're hallucinating these little bouncing balls of light that are like, hey dude, like how are you doing? Like welcome to this new weird place.
Okay. How many times have you done DMT?
0.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so
This is Terrence talking.
yeah, so Terrence.
Yeah, none of us on this podcast have done DMT.
You never have?
No, never.
I want to though. If anyone has any,
Yeah.
I,
do it.
I actually
I do
know
DMT.
someone.
I want to do it because
shit.
of Shane's show. Shane Moss.
Oh yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, keep on.
that
going.
show is so good.
I
know.
love.
It should suck for like how like potentially
It's
preachy it could
structured.
be.
I know.
but it's so fucking good.
What show?
Shane Moss was workshopping his one-man show about psychedelics and DMT specifically in New Orleans like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, was that when he did the long bit about driving off of a fucking
Yes,
cliff or whatever?
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that wasn't part of it. That
Oh,
was like
okay.
That
normal
was.
stand-up.
That was normal stand-up. Okay.
Well, that didn't make it into his show.
Oh, it didn't make it
And
into
he,
the show.
he did like an actual run of the show at Always. And
I know, I went to that.
Yeah.
I'm
when he
confusing
told
it
that
with-
other story,
yeah.
It was at a different show.
Oh,
It was
gotcha,
at
gotcha.
Beast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also, drove off a
Anyone else
cliff.
over here?
Yes.
I'm okay.
I'm gonna wait. Thank you.
So, Terrence McKenna makes the argument that like if he were a alien civilization that wanted to make contact with humans, but he didn't want to freak them out, what better way to communicate with them than through a chemical so that no one fucking believes what these people are saying? They're like, oh, like I honked on this chemical and then I saw these beings. No one's going to believe that. And so like the U.S. Air Force isn't going to like start launching nukes at the moon or whatever, you know? So
I would leak it to TMZ.
Wait, do you remember?
Don't you think that'd be a good one?
If you were an alien,
Yeah, if I was an alien, I'd be like, what's the trashiest source of entertainment?
Oh my
and then
God.
That's
only
actually
appeal
a very
to
good
them.
idea. Yeah.
Thank
that's
you.
so good.
Do y'all remember when we nuked the moon?
Did we?
Did we really?
Like 2 days after Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize,
What?
NASA, so like part of the U.S. government, basically nuked the moon.
Why?
so
What was
good.
the point?
I think they were like trying to find like water
Yeah.
or something that was like,
Blow it up.
yeah, so they nuked it.
That's Elon Musk's argument for like how to terraform Mars is you just nuke the polar ice caps. Yeah, he's a real smart boy.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I now hate Grimes too. Just
R.I.P.
by
Grimes.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Grimes.
R.I.P.
I
Grimes.
never listened to Grimes, but now I have a great excuse.
She has so much good music.
I tried and I was like, oh, it's too weird.
I know.
She
that's
wrote
fair.
her first album entirely on meth, I believe.
I'm surprised that
On
you like
meth.
Grimes.
Yeah.
Because
I was
you
in
usually
college.
are like Ariana. I was in college. I'm usually the one like.
I had
Whenever,
a cool boyfriend.
One time you tried to describe the music I like. You were like, you know how you like music that's angry and loud.
and people yelling.
Yeah, you're just like, can we please just listen to Britney Spears soda pop? Yes.
Although something that I've thought
and
about,
commercial hip hop.
and like yes, and something I've thought about that I have just been putting kind of out into the world without thinking about critically in any way is that I think people with mood disorders might like musically less complex music because like music affects my mood so much. If there's any element of chaos in music, it's unsettling to me.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's why I love like pop music. It's so like
But a lot of the commercial hip hop you listen to might have
Soothing.
like gun sounds or violence.
yeah, because channeled anger is something I can tap into really easily. So it's like cathartic to listen to
Right.
that.
Right.
And also like they pay a lot of attention to beats. A lot of like stuff that Isaac likes and you like and you like. you like stuff that I like too. But a lot of things that cool white people like, I'm just like, I'm like, I hate this. This is emotionally upsetting on a level I don't know how or why, but it's like unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so you listen to Nutrimilk Hotel and then you have trouble sleeping.
I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know what it is. I've
Yeah,
heard of it. I
well-
don't listen to it.
Right. Okay.
Well, I mean that actually makes sense because it is like the emotional content of Nutrimilk Hotel.
I want to fuck
But you
Anne
don't
Frank.
like the
Yeah.
I don't care about the lyrics. They could be
The
saying stuff. They could be
disconnectedness of the
saying like,
music. Yeah.
"I
okay.
want to kill my mom and fuck my dad," and I'd be like, "This is catchy," and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So you love Eminem, is what you're saying?
I honestly love Eminem.
Yeah.
I really
love
like
Eminem.
his track on Nicki Minaj's new album.
I haven't heard. Wait, how does it go? I probably haven't.
It's I'm not going to try. I can't think of it.
Okay,
either,
You got to
but-
rap.
Spit a few
Eminem,
bars,
right?
motherfucker.
I will never sit.
Dude, I will beatbox
I
for
will
you.
never demonstrate.
Can
No,
you beatbox?
please don't do
wait,
that.
Wait, don't make
no
her do
one wants
anything.
him to do it.
You beatbox. You beatbox.
No.
I haven't done it since I was 11.
now.
Make him feel ashamed for ever doing it. Don't do it.
You don't think you should beatbox?
No.
Don't do it ironically. No, fuck that shit.
No. Can you really do it?
All right, try to do it.
This is a safe space.
No, it's not.
I don't feel like you should.
I love when people say that when it's not a safe
No,
space.
not
Would you
even.
just
I will
declare?
call you a dumb bitch.
I really wanted to write a sketch where a man just keeps committing crimes, and then when people try to arrest him, he keeps insisting that it's a safe space. But I can't figure out any other part of it than just that, and that's like so funny to me. He's like robbing a bank, and the cops come in, and he's like, "No, this is a safe space
Yeah.
for me."
I mean, that's
Anyway.
good. Yeah. I don't think you really have to add a whole lot. You just like.
But it's
heighten
not a
couple
sketch; it's
times.
just an idea that I'm
You
saying.
could make it a sketch.
I don't think I could.
Robbing a bank is self-care.
Exactly. Okay,
Whatever.
maybe it's that.
Half the time, like
Tropes of something.
the idea, like the joke, is just as good as the sketch. So you could just describe a sketch, and you're like,
I know, but I actually want to write sketches. But I really like that because a lot of white people, I feel like, weaponize or like commodify self care
absolutely.
to be like,
I'm a bad person.
Exactly. Like my job is hard, so I bought this bath bomb for $30, and it's like that's not what self care is, and you're just capitalist and white.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's okay to buy a $30.
It's absolutely
bath bomb,
fine, but
it's
you know
not
how people
self-care.
talk about it, like
yeah, self care is like something that you should only get to use as a concept if you're like.
Also, it's not just buying things. I feel
Right.
like a lot of times people think of self care as like
Right.
I'm treating myself
Right.
by spending money, and it's like
Right.
there's also like ways to take care of yourself and rest.
Also, I think it was meant as a term for people who are oppressed. So like,
Yeah, and
it's
doing
an act
work.
of resistance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like no one ever meant for like privileged white women.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like how emotional labor has been completely appropriated by people who just want to like be like, "Fuck you, I don't owe you."
I don't want to
anything."
explain.
yeah,
it.
emotional labor is not talking to someone I disagree with.
Right.
Right.
I would say like it depends on who
Right.
is disagreeing. Like I think that like black women and black men like shouldn't be expected to explain racism.
Right. Exactly. That's yeah.
Right.
But like
Yeah, that's
we're
the actual thing.
That's,
That's the thing that got
But we're
appropriated
supposed to explain
by
it.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Like you talking to your racist family members isn't emotionally. It's like
Right.
your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but it
It is exhausting and it is
but
difficult.
something being exhausting doesn't mean that you shouldn't do
Yeah.
it.
There's a really good tweet that was like, everything that I want to do is self care, and everything I don't want to do is emotional labor,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty
Also,
good.
people will use like I don't know. People will just be shitty people and then be like, I burn bridges a lot, but
just because you're an arsonist.
yeah, just,
You guys didn't like the one, but I liked it. It was good for me.
I think it's good.
I feel good about it, and I don't regret saying it.
No, I burn bridges a lot, but it's for people that I really do hate.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. I think it should be more acceptable when you hate someone to just be like, I'm not going to antagonize you or bully you, but I'm going to completely extricate you from my life.
I murder
because
people I don't
fuck
like
you.
all the time, and that's what self care is.
I think that like the idea that you're in a social contract to be
Right.
acquaintances with
Right.
everyone, even if they've done nothing that bad to you, like I think that's bullshit.
Stand up, especially a lot of men take advantage of that.
I know.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, no. I can hate you.
Yeah.
I just can't bully you. I
Right.
can't like
Right,
tell
right,
other
right.
people that you're a bad person.
Yeah.
But I can be like, I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
And that does not make me a bad person.
Right.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
Like that person who I won't book on my shows, but I'm not trying to actively ruin.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Right.
I feel like everyone has a
Hillary
right,
Clinton.
but you even have a better reason. You even have a better reason for that than the person that I cut out of my life. He's just like a dipshit and an ass kisser and sucks at comedy. And I was like, you know what? Everything about you is infuriating. And if I never see your face again, I'll be happier. And I'm so glad I did that.
Also, this Zionist prick sucks at comedy. So.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh.
The person I cut out sucks way more than that guy, but he's also not as bad of a person politically, but he's such a little ass kisser. His initials also are the initials for bowel movement.
So this podcast is funded by APAC, so you need to take that back.
What's APAC? Maybe I don't understand when you talk.
You know, I've been waiting for you to say that to me for so long, and you never will.
No, your sense of
You just
humor
don't think
doesn't
I'm
align
funny.
with
Yeah,
me.
yeah. That was the
But Michael's
sweetest way to
actually
say
just
that.
saying words I don't know. Like, what is? I thought you said Affleck.
He's talking about Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
What is APAC?
APAC is a pro-Israel lobbying group that
How do you know that?
because
It's
it's
a-
all
just a
over the
big-
news.
know that.
Oh, okay. Are
Right
you in the
now.
DSA?
I actually don't know what it
No,
stands
but
for.
You have
I
glasses.
intend to. But
I really don't.
God, you just like fed me a line that would have been so good if I had thought of it by myself.
Well, now you can use it. Only 200 people listen to this
I'm not in
podcast, so they'll
DSA,
never
but I
know.
have glasses.
Ooh.
It's so fucking funny.
Whose phone
Thank
keeps
you.
going off?
Who are you guys texting?
It's Michael's
yeah,
computer.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You should mute iMessage on your computer because also someone can see it. One time I asked my friend if I could borrow something and she texted her boyfriend to ask, and I was using the computer and he texted back like no, and now I kind of secretly am mad at him for it. But I just should never have seen that. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Wait, what happened?
American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Someone already said that? Okay.
No,
No, you didn't say
I don't know what
word.
it stood for, but that
What
it's
does
just
it say?
a
One more time?
pro-Israel lobby.
American Israel Standard.
Standard issue. No, it's
It's basically
American
Standard
Israel
is beauty
Public
room.
Affairs Committee.
It's basically the lobbying organization that is responsible for the whole like if you criticize Israel, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah, they're-
line
Elron
of
Mexico had the
rhetoric.
funniest tweet. He was like, you know, like the cliche of like, oh, well, you're a socialist and you use an iPhone.
Right.
He was like,
I saw that.
Ilhan Omar criticizes Israel, yet she works for a government owned by Israel. Interesting.
That's really funny.
Dude, Sean's the funniest motherfucker. I
He's
love that.
so
we have to have him on. We can have him on.
Who is this?
What if we have him
He's
on
this
Saturday
guy-
since I'm not
Jean
leaving
Dutroux.
town?
He's a Cajun dude who's
Okay.
amazing at Twitter, and he does a lot of DSA stuff.
Okay, cool.
And
I'll follow
I met
him.
him I love his Twitter, and I met him for the first time at a Mardi Gras thing, and he rules. He's so nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep trying to get him to do stand-up because I feel like almost everyone who's like, I'd be good at stand-up
Isn't.
is not.
Would not be.
And then there are like 2 or 3 people I know who I'm like, oh,
You
you'd
should
be
do
so
this.
good
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this.
I know.
He's
Yeah.
so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I think that Erica is like that, but God, oh my God, I have to talk about Erica
Erica's
yesterday.
so funny.
Wait, Erica, you know Joe Cardosi's
Yeah.
wife? So she had a big Marie Antoinette wig on yesterday, and people kept bumping into her. She was like, I almost killed 5 bitches, and then some girl bumped into her, goes, 6. Right there. And then she went on this rant. She'll never do the podcast, so I'm just going to imitate her and do a horrible Cajun
Yeah,
accent, so sorry. But she went on this rant. She was like, I saw this bitch wearing a tarp full of garbage. This bitch, and you know what this bitch was? She was dressed like the ocean. And then she was like, yeah, you're going to come to the most wasteful event, Mardi Gras, and dress as the fucking ocean, this fucking bitch. It was so funny. And then we were in the bathroom line, and then she noticed that there was another guy who was wearing like a fishnet and was also dressed like the ocean, and she was just like she was freaking out like she was going to fucking kill someone. God,
I love
that
the
woman,
idea of the ocean making you like so mad.
I love her so much, but I
No, I
also
love
think
her.
that costume's so annoying. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, let's make
Yeah.
a political statement on Mardi Gras when everyone's blitzed on Molly.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
dude.
We
That
had to
fucking
trump people at the stupid
that
thing.
fucking Trump
I
statue
could've
thing.
just-
Give us a day. Give
Yeah.
us a fucking
Yeah.
day where we can
They're
just be
assholes.
high and enjoy
I know.
beautiful things.
Right.
And not and
they
like
won't.
whatever. You can do like Mardi Gras like
That's their joy.
I hate Mardi Gras satire so fucking
too.
much.
Me
like,
too.
Except Crudeville.
I hate Crudeville.
Really? Oh, I love Crudeville.
I mean, the
Do you like
dicks are
Crudeville?
funny or whatever.
I don't like
I have a
anything.
good time.
I love Curtis.
I have a good
I
time
love
at
it.
Crudeville.
I love it.
But it's like none of this actually makes any sort of point. It's
Okay,
all,
2 years
oh
ago
my
they
God, there's
passed
fucking
out
people that were like dressed as the like Scrabble thing.
the
and
Covfefe, but that's
they were
Trump
just
shit.
saying Covfefe.
I know.
That's
And they
all
were
of
so
Crudivu. That's
self-satisfied.
as good as
and
Crudivu
No,
gets.
no. Crudivu 2 years ago, these people were passing out fake Uber cards, and it was like, do you want to be a part of gentrification without doing any of the work or whatever? Like, it was really good. They had all these Lyft and Uber things that were
Yeah.
good. I'm not remembering specifics enough to convey how funny it was.
I remember when
but
I
it
used
was.
to
Yeah, 'cause
be
they're never gonna be
anti-Lyft. That's
memorable.
No, they
so funny.
were-
I take it every day.
You take what every day?
I was just saying I used to be like very pro cab and anti Uber and Lyft, and now I like take Lyft all the time.
I do too.
Yeah.
I just want to point out for special consideration that your version of a Cajun accent is just someone who has like a 3.1 GPA at Grace King.
Well, I do a Yad accent.
Yeah.
Because if I tried to do a Cajun accent, I'd make her sound like a crawfish. Like, I wouldn't. But like, it's what I'm doing is closer. What I'm doing is closer to a Cajun accent than if I tried to do a Cajun accent. Because it's very similar to a Yad.
Yeah. All right. How about you beatbox and I'll try and do a
The
Cajun
only
accent.
thing I can say in a Cajun accent is when I told Erica I was bisexual, she reacted by saying, "Oh, you fuck women?" That is the only thing I can
Wow, that was
successfully say.
perfect.
I know
That's
women. I
really
can
good.
say
What
women.
the fuck?
Women.
That's
You
perfect.
do
Women.
pretty good, Erica.
Yeah, I
Like,
can
just-
do a
yeah,
good
just do
Erica.
Erica.
You guys should absolutely kidnap her and make her do the podcast.
Yeah, she does a lot of shit with her hands.
I know, God.
Oh God, being around her, I'm always like, it's such a gift to know you.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
then
agree.
when her and Joe,
Erica's one of the few people in my life that I can truly say I am completely intimidated by. Every time she starts talking, I'm like, I'm not going to contribute because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
see, I don't find
And
her
I never
intimidating.
feel that way.
I don't find her intimidating because when she criticizes
You should
me,
feel that way
it's
more
so
often.
funny.
I know.
No, just let her criticize you. Just accept that she's funnier than you, and then it won't be intimidating anymore.
But like, it's funny when like Rebecca does it.
Yeah,
Another friend of ours,
yeah.
Rebecca Harvey. She's super funny.
Also
really
has a
good
very
at, like,
funny voice.
Is this really
Yeah.
felt Rebecca?
Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. After
But
meeting her, you were
I
like, she's
never
very
feel
attractive.
weird.
Yeah.
Like when she fucks with me. Even
Yeah.
though she's amazing at it and completely accurate.
Because she's
all
doing
the
it with a
time.
wink of like, we get that this is whatever.
Right.
Erica's like straight like,
I know. I'm like, Erica's going to kill me.
I know, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
One time she was telling a story about a guy that got in a fight with another guy named Pumpkin or something. And I was like, why did Pumpkin shoot someone in the head? And then she was like, because he was mad. I was like, yeah. It was, I'm exaggerating, but God, it's so fucking funny. And she's a doctor. Not
Yeah.
that she wouldn't be a doctor because she's Cajun, but like she talks like someone who will beat the fuck out of anyone at any given moment, but her
Yeah.
job is to just deal with
Take
sexist
care
guys.
of people.
She works at the VA, so her
Yeah.
job is to just deal with sexist men who think that she's a nurse all day, and she's like so polite to them
Yeah.
and so nice, but then she's like the angriest fucking funniest
She's
person.
very special.
Yeah, sorry, I'll stop talking about Erica, but
No.
she rules.
We should have her on the pod.
You should.
I wonder
Joe
if she'd do
can't
the
do it,
pod.
though.
I
Fuck
think
that.
Erica's very anti-podcast on principle.
You just have her over and don't tell
Wait,
her
Julie,
the mics are
aren't you
on.
also you've like never listened to a podcast?
I've listened
right?
to a couple. I listened to this one with Isaac, and then I
just because
listened
you wanted to torture yourself.
It was fucking an hour and a half, and I was like, "Yeah, I know he was in a
That's a
call. I
normal-
know he was a preacher. What was that?
That's
me?
okay. This is just the
It's-
headphone I'm clipping. It's not going to be in the
Okay,
recording.
okay.
That's a normal length for a podcast.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Well, I don't like that.
I like an hour, but I
Yeah.
will say I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I've also listened to. Okay, I've listened to maybe 6 podcasts in my whole life. I tried to listen to Guys We Fucked when I was dating Isaac because he loved it so
that
much.
podcast
It was
sucks.
terrible, and I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. And then I listened to My Friend Is in Love with Bill Burr, and we listened to the one that he releases twice a week. Because
Wait, you have a female friend who's in love with Bill
my
Burr?
friend Gina, who you'll meet if you come to my birthday, and she's so good.
Yeah.
She is you, I was realizing.
Really?
She's like you in a lot of ways, yes.
Now I'm interested.
One time we went to Italy, and she has an
I like her
unchecked
already.
anger problem that's insane. And we were in Italy, and the way that they tell you to be quiet, if you're like, we were in a really residential area, and we were drunk and screaming, and this woman had yelled down one time, like, shut the fuck up in Italian, but we obviously didn't know or care, and so she just threw a bucket of water. And Gina has really amazing, beautiful curly hair. She straightens it every day. It takes her hours.
Oh my God.
And so her hair got fucked up, and we walked home, and she was screaming at the top of her voice, I'm gonna bomb the fuck, I'm gonna drop a bomb here, I'm gonna kill everyone, I'm gonna find your mothers and kill them. She was just like so angry.
my God, it's
it
so
was
funny.
amazing.
Oh my god.
take the town and then we will take
It is so fun. It is so fun to just like scream at Jeff
Yeah.
like the worst things I can say. Like I'll just be like, I can't even say the things that I say to Jeff. But like it is fun to just have a place to say the worst things in the world.
Oh my God,
It's
yeah.
not to that lady though.
No, she was also drunk and we were walking away, so she didn't scream at her. She's just screaming indiscriminately
into
to the
void.
air.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
She's from Worcester, Massachusetts. I don't know if you know what that means, but it means something.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, she's great, and I love her very dearly.
Gina's a great name.
You would
a
love her,
strong
but she
name.
loves Bill Burr. She connects with Bill Burr on a spiritual level.
Because he also has a huge anger
Exactly,
problem.
exactly.
I loved Bill Burr until I started doing stand up, and then I realized that like I'm a lot more sensitive about. I feel like I'm a lot better at telling. Like, what are you doing? I always think that you're trying to tell me something. Michael always like moves and smiles.
I make eye contact when I'm talking to people.
Don't do that. That's weird.
Anyway,
Quit moving and smiling.
Look at the ground stationary. Like, what
Don't
the
look at me. No, but sometimes I really do have like a booger, or he's telling me to get close to the mic. So I always
your
think
booger
it's
is
that.
not going to show up on the fucking podcast.
I know, but I want you to know. I want you to tell me if I have a booger.
All right. Well, okay. If you want me to tell you some stuff, stop hitting the table.
Okay,
to
I'm
emphasize.
sorry.
Stop hitting the table to emphasize shit. But other than that, you're good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Should I start hitting the table just so it's even?
So I used to like. Do you feel like you were less sensitive about men doing stand up until you did stand up, and now I feel like I can tell the difference between a joke that's like satirizing sexism and a joke that just I can tell it's from a place of hating women.
Sensitive
Like,
isn't the word I would use because I think a lot of people use that to describe women not liking stuff. They're like, "Oh,
well,
you're too sensitive."
But
blah,
I
blah.
think that like you become sensitive in like the
You
truest
just start
sense
to
of the
watch
word.
thousands of hours of comedy, and so then you're just like, "Oh, you hating your wife isn't inherently funny." Like,
No,
write a joke about this.
But also, like, I've noticed that I used to just be like, oh, it's comedy, so it definitely isn't true. And now that I've done it, I'm like, no, the things I say are true.
yeah,
Like, I don't do jokes about being racist because I'm not racist.
yeah.
So, like, why would I do a joke about that unless I was? Why would I do a joke about women being stupid unless I was? Unless it was, like, the person's whole shtick was to be extremely, like, which I don't love. But, like,
Yeah.
there are some people who are clearly doing a character.
Yeah.
But, like, when someone's just being themselves, I'm like, no, that's just how you feel.
But also the cultural context has changed, and I think Bill Burr in the early 2000s was so different. Like, there's so
Agree.
many people we get in stand-up who it's like they got famous doing this thing 10, 15, 20 years ago, and it was amazing then, and they just are like, oh, this is what it is. I'm never changing.
Right.
And also,
And then they just
once
stay that-
people get a following, they cater to their
following, which
audience.
is wrong. Absolutely.
And then it's
Yeah.
like a
That's why I love
cyclical
Kanye so
thing
much. Yeah.
where like
I don't love Kanye.
nobody grows.
Yeah, but it's like
That's
a lot
why-
of older white comics who a lot of them are men because there's not that many women comics because of sexism. But like a lot of them who it's like when you're starting to get traction when you were 20, the stuff that was edgy then that you like found a lot of like identity in, you're still talking about that and you're 45. Like
Yeah.
read something. Like
Yeah.
go out. Go be
Go
somewhere
have an
else.
identity.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're Blink
yeah.
182 still playing Blink 182 songs.
Well, do you want them to change? I like what they're doing. I mean, they're not really touring anymore.
I mean, I haven't seen them live.
They dropped at a Fire Fest, so now I just like trust them implicitly. I'm like, they have their finger on the pulse. They know what's up.
That guy's an alien guy.
Who?
the
Billy
guy with
McFarland.
the small things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Travis Baker.
Wait, what do you mean he's an alien guy? What does that
Yeah,
mean?
what is
Barker.
He believes in aliens.
Travis Barker.
Travis
What is
Barker.
it?
No,
Baker.
I don't know which one.
I know two brothers named Bob Barker and Travis
all that
Barker.
music sucks.
Amazing. Oh, Tom
complete
DeLonge.
balls. So
I only
don't
know
ca-
two of the people.
Mark
in Blink
Hoppus.
182. Oh, I didn't know him.
was
I
the-
think it's Tom DeLonge. He's like
Tom DeLonge.
He's into aliens, like
Yeah.
super hot.
Travis was the hot one and the drummer, so
Yeah.
he's the only one I care
And
about.
he married Shayna, what's her name? Morkel? What the fuck was her name?
No.
They
Don't
have
look
a
it up.
reality
Keep
TV show.
guessing into the microphone. Keep guessing.
Who's Angela Merkel, the German prime minister?
Angela Merkel, yeah. He married Angela Merkel.
What an odd couple.
Yeah,
I
what
would
an
watch
odd
the
couple.
reality show in less than 1 second.
Well, I did watch the reality show of Travis Barker and his hot, dumb wife.
Who is it?
Well, he's extremely dumb, too, to be fair. They're both very, very
Is
sweet.
he?
Man, I want to be done with a dumb hot wife. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
No, that sounds terrible.
It was, but they
Just
got
to be
divorced.
stupid and hot.
It was like
I'm already hot in
Shayna.
this.
It was like it's Shane. It was pronounced Shayna, but it's spelled Shanna. Because that annoys me so much when people are like, it's Shayna with 2 N's. I'm like, that would be Shanna. But
Whatever,
anyway.
Mary Devon.
I mean, at least it's spelled
It's
the way it's
spelled-
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
look. But people, I mean, I hate my name also.
Do
I'm
you
not
really?
like a fan.
I love
No,
your
it's
name.
very, very
I like your
pretentious.
Your name isn't pretentious.
Mary Devin Dupuis. I think
No.
it's like very like.
Maybe because I grew up in the South and I knew a million hyphenate, like Grace
Thank you.
Ann,
Yeah.
and Mary Beth,
It's just
and Lori
so,
Beth.
People make me feel
I'm
bad
liking
for
all
wanting
these
to go
names.
by both.
I know, I like them.
People make me feel bad for wanting to go by both.
That's because
and
they're stupid.
I know, and I'm also just like, it's 4 syllables.
It's not
but also,
hard.
who do I think I am?
You're yourself.
Yeah, but people call me Mary, and I'm like, it's fine.
That's wrong.
It is. But I only care, like,
Kyle.
I always give my, wait, who's Kyle?
Kyle Smith.
Oh, Kyle calls me Mary,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, because
Everyone
Kyle's
calls
okay.
me Ben, and I fucking hate it.
Oh, yeah, everyone does. I always call you Benjamin, because you
I
always call
try.
me Mary Devin.
I do a trans thing where I say the wrong thing and then I immediately correct myself and feel bad.
It's not that serious.
I know.
You're not dead naming me, but, you know, I still don't
No,
like
I
it.
never do it with someone's wrong name, but I'll do it with pronouns sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm trying.
I haven't messed up that in a while, but I used to do it all the time.
You're really good about it.
Who's like got a difficult name that I always fuck up? I name people things that aren't their name.
Like
and
what?
then I'm trying to think, like, I thought that damn it, I need to think of it. Because there's some women who I've just always thought that they had a different name and called them the wrong name for years, and eventually they were like, it's not this name.
Really?
Yeah, like especially coworkers.
What?
I'll just like, especially the French people. I'll just be
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lori, and then I'll find out her name is Angèle. Oh, also your friend Hannah. I went up to her yesterday when I was like, your roommate. I went up to her yesterday when I was
like, I have a lot of friends.
extremely fucked up, and I was like, "Hello, Angèle." I just named her that. I met a woman named Angèle 3 days ago, and also she was covered in glitter, and like I just was also extremely fucked up. So she just vaguely looked like this other brunette woman who's pretty, and I was just like, Angèle. She was like, Hannah, but that's fine.
Cool. Yeah, she'd be chill about that.
What's that?
That is some rubber from my headphones that are
Cool. I feel like I'm talking too much, so I'm going to stop.
No, you're good.
We were trying to figure out what Julie was an expert in.
You're the only funny one on this podcast.
Yeah.
Don't say that you talk too
That's
much.
fucked up. I'm here right now.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Maybe
you're a
normally-
guest.
The only funny host.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
A
you.
core member.
So we were working our way through the podcasts you've listened to, and we have 3. We've got Bill Burr.
Oh, right.
We've got Guys We Fucked, and then what was the other one?
This one.
Yeah, that
Yours.
was
Okay.
And then
Honored. We're honored.
I allowed an episode of a Pete Holmes
Holmes.
podcast to be played in the car
God.
because they were like,
What a
"Is this
shrill
okay?"
person Pete
and I was
Holmes
like,
is.
"Yeah, I've never heard it. Like, we'll try it." And at like 8 minutes in, I was like, "I cannot do this."
Yeah. I'm so
gonna
glad
murder-
everyone hates him now. Because
Normal people are like, "I love Crashing. Have you seen Crashing?" And I'm
oh
like,
God, it's so awful. Have you seen it?
I saw one
It's-
episode and it was terrible.
the show is like
It's
fine in
horrible.
itself. I just think he's so self-indulgent and he loves to hear himself talk. And his podcast is the most infuriating thing on the earth because he has amazing, interesting guests for some reason. And then he constantly interrupts them to say
Yeah.
these dumb things that aren't funny and talk about himself. And I'm like, also, he went on Rachel Ray for one episode and they were talking together. And I was like, oh, this is insane how aggravating this is.
Yeah. If they made a baby, it would just be
Oh
like
my
a machine
God.
that made horrible noise. They both have the worst voices.
One time I came home from school and my mom was sitting down on the couch watching Rachel Ray, like looking avidly at the TV, not doing anything else, but it was on mute. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I love what she makes, but I don't like hearing her talk. And I was like, this is fair. She
Yeah.
just likes it for the recipes.
I hate how the word shrill is so sexist now because I find Pete Holmes' voice specifically to be very
Lindy West is
shrill.
taking it back though.
Yeah, good for her.
I want to read that book a lot.
I don't know if I can read. I don't think I can read a book that has like a message. I think I can only read novels.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I think no, like novels can have messages, but I don't think I can read a book that's not like a nonfiction book that's just like I'm going to explain this to you because it'll infuriate me.
That's mostly what I read.
I can't do that. I think
you
I
read
could.
it?
No.
Okay. Have you read it?
Is this Lindy West?
I could do it about something that I need to know about.
Yeah.
But if it's not going to be informative, if it's just supposed to inform a perspective and not actually give me facts that I need to know, then it'll just piss me off.
But a lot of times, if someone who's a good writer is writing about something I experienced, like Roxane Gay, when I read her book about being fat, now I don't remember what it was called, but it was like
I think
all
it's
these
called Hunger.
things.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is called Hunger.
Yeah.
Yes, Hunger.
Did you read it?
It's so good, and it was so freeing and releasing to hear someone talk about something that I've experienced in way better language. Like, she's such an amazing writer. It was like giving voice to these things that have just been these like feelings I've had, these like really strong feelings, and then to read someone be like, it's this, or I felt
Yeah.
like this. I was like on a plane and I kept like hitting my own leg because I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's language is. I'm very verbal, and language is like freeing to me in a lot of ways. Because if I can't think of how to say something, it bothers me.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's like some of what the best art is to me is when someone gives voice and like clarity
Yeah.
to a thing that it was like shapeless to you beforehand.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, that's what I already
Oh, it's
felt.
this. Yeah, totally.
Like I had that inside me. You just said it well. I
Totally.
didn't know how to process it.
Yeah.
That's what like drew me to stand up. Like
Oh
initially.
yeah.
Which it's so corny, but it was like George Carlin, like old specials and shit, being like, "Oh fuck, yeah, that's what I thought about that."
I feel like stand-up is a really good way to access really difficult things to understand from an identity that you don't have, like an experiential knowledge that you will never gain. Like I feel like a lot of my favorite comics, like growing up, were a lot of like older black men because it's something I'll never understand. I'll never be able to just live and learn that, but and also I don't have a lot of close friends who are like older black men, and stand up, you're any good at it, you're like talking about things you care about. So it's like, and humor makes issues look accessible in this way where people are willing to listen without being defensive because they don't feel like they're being preached at. It's like fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a really good access or entry point to a lot of issues for a lot of people. And I remember there was this one guy that I watched and he did this joke and he was black, and like part of the premise was he was like, you know, when you're stopped by the cops and you like have to keep your hands visible, and he said it so throwaway that it was just like known. And I remember thinking like, what? Like, because, you know, I was like 13 or 14 and it was just like an immediate like, oh, because he's black and there's racism and people treat him differently. Wow. Like, and it just clicked for me in this way that I, you know, like
Wouldn't have experienced without stand up.
Yeah. And I feel like it can be such a tool. You know?
I know we want to get to Carrollton, so I want to make
time
sure
is
that you
it?
talk about, it's 10:15,
10:12.
10:12.
Okay.
But I want to make sure that Julie tells us about when she lost a lot of hair from, you want to explain
Which
that?
time?
The time, not when you shaved your head, but the time that you used the bad shampoo.
Lice shampoo?
I want you to just start that from the
The shave that.
Is that fun
thing
for
is kinda
everyone?
funny.
I've had so many weird hair things. But the one that I did is what you're talking about is that I got lice. Did you know that I got lice?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had lice in college. It was like the second week of college. I didn't know anyone. I was so embarrassed. And I deal with shame by just like being private and inward. And I didn't want to tell anyone. So I just bought this lice shampoo that you're supposed to use every 7 to 10 days. You're supposed to use a dime-sized amount because it's a literal poison that kills living things. And I was like, I'll just use more of it often. And I started to use it like a lot, and all of my hair started falling out, like so much hair, and it never grew back, and it was very
I think
bad.
it's thicker after you shaved your head.
Do you think it is?
I think it is. I think that your hair is still thin, but you used to, like when you
so
put your hair
thin.
up in a ponytail before, I was like, there's a lot of bald spots.
Wait, before I shaved my head?
Yeah.
And now you don't think that?
Now I don't think that. I think it was also because it was
Wow.
longer, so you were pulling it more taut.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's grown back thicker. Like your hair was
Interesting.
definitely, you didn't have bald spots, but it was very thin.
Thin. And you think it's thicker now?
I think it's thicker.
Should I shave it again?
No.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
you hated your life forever when you shaved your
Well,
hair. I
it
know
was
you
really
liked parts of it.
interesting,
I
yeah.
thought you looked good.
I wish I had kept it shorter longer. I wanted to see how it grew back, so I didn't cut it at all. And I wish I had kept it in the shave part.
Right.
That's the most compliments I've ever gotten. Ever.
Was the like bald?
Oh, when it was like,
When it was shaved.
yeah, that
Yeah.
it did. You did look amazing.
Women would like come up to me and just be like, "You're so beautiful," and I was like, "I love this."
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, but it was
Happens to
kind
me
of
all
like
the
when
time.
you're fat and you wear a bikini and people are like, "You're so brave." It was kind of like that where I was like, "Do you pity me? Is that what you're?"
But it wasn't.
Yeah, compliments are weird like that, where sometimes a compliment is just a way of someone saying,
I noticed this. About
I
you.
noticed this.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Sorry to.
I
Sorry.
think
No,
you
you're
also
good. That's
did
fine.
just like look really good bald though.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I think that like you have a. Yeah, I think that the shape of your face and head was really good. I know that you hated it when people would say that to you. Like, you
Well,
have
because there would
such
be a lot of middle-aged women who are like, "Well, your face shape works, so you can do
it."
this, but I could never." And I was like, "No, I did this because I thought it would look bad, and I like wanted to be ugly." Yeah.
You've said that about other things. Like I guess it was about head shaving, but I do.
What was it?
I forgot. Maybe it was just about head shaving that I found it really interesting.
I think it's important to be ugly a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't that why you got the like thigh tattoo?
That's why I got the bull thigh tattoo, because I wanted something mean on my body, and I was very mad at being objectified that day because I'd been harassed by like 25 very scary people when I was jogging. So I got an impulsive tattoo because I live next to a tattoo place. But I found out that the guy giving me the tattoo thought that my reason was stupid when he was midway doing it and was sexist. And then someone from that same studio jumped my balcony and sexually harassed me by pinning dead roses to my door in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yes, he I think his IQ might be such that I don't know if I can fully blame him for his actions.
That was a very gracious way
Yeah.
of saying something.
Stupid people can still be bad.
Yeah, I think that he's an asshole, but I also think that he legitimately, he apologized to me intensely. I think he's, mentally ill. Maybe he has a high IQ and he's just extremely mentally ill, because I was, terrified and thought I was about to be murdered, because he didn't think I was home.
Also, the fact that they're dead.
Yeah, dead roses.
Wait, so
actually beautiful.
you were in your house?
I was in my
while
apartment.
he was nailing something to
Yes,
your door.
so
That
he
is
was
fucking
okay.
hilarious.
To be fair, he had used. Now the reason he thought I was gone. Let me give him full credit here. It's still creepy what he did, but we had been at the same bar, and he I was at that bar and he didn't realize that I'd left, and I lived a block away from the bar. And so by the time he had decided to do this great romantic gesture, he thought I was definitely still at the bar and hadn't just come home.
Why were they dead? Why did he have dead roses when
He
was
had
out?
dried roses to make it was actually a beautiful note written with an ink pen, and he had nailed it to the door, which would have been creepy regardless.
Yeah, I hate this.
And it was from your secret admirer.
Ew.
And so then I looked out the window and I was like, oh, it's fucking
Ghosts.
yeah. And then no, I looked out the window and I saw the dude. And then I saw the dude and I was like, oh, it's the old man that has a crush on me that works at the tattoo parlor. And then I opened the door. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was so embarrassed.
I feel like there should be a committee that before you hit on someone, you should have to be like, is this okay? And then people can vote on it.
But then he also was like, sorry, I blew my I really blew my chance. I was like, you have no teeth and you're 60 and I would not have fucked you.
No.
Yeah.
I got it.
Can you imagine a 22-year-old man being nice to a 60-year-old haggard sea witch nailing roses to it? No, they'd be like, get away from me, you old bitch, and everyone would understand.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I was so gracious to him. Anyway,
You should kill him.
I should. He's gonna die. He has no hygiene.
I got an impulse tattoo of a safety pin and a leaf. Do you want to see it?
I saw it.
When?
It's sometime since you've been back.
Wow.
Show Michael.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
You like it?
I like it.
Thanks.
I did think it was a weed leaf at first, but then that was just very first glance. And
That's
then
okay.
second glance,
You
I
can
was
think
like,
it's
no,
weed. I
not.
don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wrong about it.
It didn't look like weed.
Why'd you get it?
Because I wanted to get it.
She was at a tattoo party.
I was at a tattoo party.
But what does it mean?
Actually, so when I was writing for Where You At, I did an article on all the tattoo parlors in New Orleans, and I talked to so many people, and it was really interesting. And something they were saying is that because the influx of tattoo shows, to make good TV, they highlighted people who had a backstory and a reason for getting tattoos. They were like, this piece is a star because my grandfather, named me Star and he worked on a ship or whatever. It's every part has a meaning and someone died and a thing. And they were saying that before the shows, before people were needing a narrative for TV for people to have an emotional reaction to, people just come in and get tattoos. All the old Flash, it's just a fucking boat because a boat looks cool. You know what I mean? And then since all those shows got popularized, there's a lot of people who weren't in tattoo culture at all, and that was the only exposure to it they had. So then they thought everyone who gets a tattoo, it has to mean something. So then subsequently everyone would come in and be like, I want to get this because of this, this, and this. Isn't that really interesting?
That is interesting.
I know. And now I'm and I have some tattoos that are meaningful, but most of my tattoos are just things that I got with someone else.
Right.
Like my daiquiri tattoo with Charlie.
I love that.
And Ariel and I have a letter. And then I have a heart on my butt from 9th grade. We did prison tattoos with needles.
I didn't know you had a
was
heart on
fun.
your butt.
It's very faint. It looks like pen because we did it with a needle and literal ink. And then I have my ribcage one. And that one
it's a
has
mirror
meaning.
that says no.
It's a mirror that says no. Absolutely.
Izzy's been trying to get me to get a heart
A matching tattoo?
tattoo on. We're both going to get heart tattoos on
your butt?
butts. And
Yeah.
I think
It's
good.
good.
I think I kind of want to do it when
It's
she's
awesome.
back.
I like that.
You should do
That's
it.
sweet.
Within the next
I
week.
love that tattoo.
So.
I don't regret it at all.
Also, it's perfect time because I never want to get a tattoo during swimming season.
Yeah,
'Cause
so you can
I
swim.
like going swimming.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like fuck it up.
Yeah, that's true.
So now would be like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get more tattoos after I get married.
Well, if this comes out before Izzy leaves New Orleans within this week, which it probably won't.
She's here right now.
She's here tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, you're right. Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, as Thursday.
That's what it is. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
You were in the middle of a sentence. If this episode, something.
Oh yeah, no. If you're listening to it, let's go get a tattoo right now.
Oh, that's nice.
And if not,
That's awesome.
does she listen to it? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Hi, Izzy.
Hi, Izzy.
Does she hate listening to it?
No, she likes it.
Oh, that's nice.
You should have Suze on. Everyone's in favor of it, but you. I asked Tippy too. Why are you sexist against your girlfriend?
And I think that's a good place to stop. Oh shit!
Follow Julie Mitchell at Julie Pop Tart
Yeah.
on Twitter.
What else do you want to plug?
You should follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Julie Pop
Wait,
Tart.
if you're in New York, go to you. And
Oh yeah, I
Brian's
started
show.
a monthly show. It's first Saturday of every month. It's called Butt Dream. It's at the Rack Shack in Brooklyn on 155 on Bushwick on 155
with
Central.
Brian
Ave.
Bahi.
Yeah, and
the
Brian's
best person in New York. besides
Also, you can see where I have shows at juliepoptart.com. I made a website.
Oh, good.
And you should read the thing I never plug, which is my most favorite thing, is my movie reviews.
Movie reviews. I love your movie reviews.
Thank you. I have a movie review blog. It's called I Heard the Book Was Better, and it's my only thing that I care about on earth. And
We
it's
should have
good.
interviewed you about that the whole time.
I forgot.
Yeah,
that
we
I'm
fucked
good at
that up. That's
Okay.
really good.
Do we have? We can talk quickly about. Do you want? No. Should we just leave?
I don't care.
No, we should. I don't know.
No, we should get going. Everyone's kind of
Everyone will- okay.
We've reached a
All right,
moment.
we
Read
love
the
you.
blog, and then you can follow me on Twitter, and you can message me what you don't like about it, and I'll be open to it. I'm receptive.
You will be for sure.
I'm very open.
I heard the book was
one
better.
last thing.
Yeah.
We were both on Molly yesterday at Mardi
I was
Gras.
on 4 drugs yesterday,
She's
was
counting
too.
alcohol and weed.
and none of them were sunscreen. And now I have like a huge.
Yeah, we're all
Sunburn.
sunburnt.
I'm so sunburned. My face hurts to move.
But I gave you a very sincere compliment, which I was doing a lot of yesterday.
Yeah.
But I mean it very deeply with you, and it's that I appreciate that you either know what you think about something, or if you don't know, you make an effort to figure it out. So
Yeah.
everyone tell Julie what's wrong with her, and then she'll take it into consideration.
Except if you're a man. Then you have to say 2 compliments and you can ask a question.
And that's the wrap. Thanks for coming on the show.
Bye.
Toodles.